at conventions that I do, occasionally I'll do a live concert. And so last year, I decided to do a live concert DVD, like a live performance, and it really is great. The lighting and the music and the great crowd, but what's really special about it is something that I have to tell you about. Right after we started making Fullmetal Alchemist, the first one, I was so jazzed by it that I wanted to dress up as Ed. I wanted to cosplay. But I thought, how can I cosplay as a pipsqueak? I'm way too old, I'm way too tall. But I came up with this idea, and I got several of the other voice actors from the show involved, and we made something called Fullmetal Fantasy. Now you guys, how many of you have seen Fullmetal Fantasy? Yeah, look, 2, 3, 4. Okay, imagine the voice actors cosplaying as their characters. It's a live action short that I made, and we used to show it at conventions only. You couldn't see it online, couldn't buy it anywhere. It's only available at conventions. And when I would do live concerts, I would show it as part of the concert. But again, that was the only place you could see it. Well, when I did this live concert DVD, Andrew, when I did this live concert DVD, I decided I should probably make it, finally, after all this time, make it available to you guys. So I put Fullmetal Fantasy on the concert DVD. It's available. I've got it at my table upstairs. I would love for you guys to have one. I'd be honored to sign it for you. And if that's not enough, that Fullmetal Fantasy is on there, and you need a good laugh. How many of you remember, long before there was an American Idol, there was Star Search? Remember Star Search? Well, the guy standing in front of you was a male vocalist challenger on Star Search in 1993. Before you were born. Well, some of you. Anyway. But I mean, we're talking 1993. I had a mullet. Awesome. And I wore a purple double-breasted suit. And I sang, oh yeah, it was happening. And I sang a song that I wrote, Ed McMahon, the whole works, and I didn't win, and so I was very embarrassed. And I swore that nobody would ever see this video. Except for the 4 million that saw it the first time, nobody was going to see it. So for years I kept it buried. And then as I was contemplating what other bonus features I should put on my concert DVD, somebody said, you should put your Star Search video on it. And I was like, never! I shall not do it! So I did it. So it's on there. So great music, a lot of great bonus videos and stuff on there. I've got that upstairs, as well as 3 of my 6 music DVDs. One of them is a Christmas DVD that I brought because, hey, it's right around the corner. You guys know you pull out the same discs every year. It's time for a new one. So I've got a Christmas CD, and actually, for those of you that are anime fans, you know Johnny Young Bosch probably.
Yes.
Well, Johnny and I do a duet on these. So if you ever wondered, what would it sound like? Edward Elric and Vash the Stampede doing a duet. What would that be like? Now you can know. I'm still working. I'm working on several different anime series right now. Not like big, huge, well-known titles, but if you're anime fans, you may know. One is called Lagrange. One is called Nura. One is called Maji. Bleach, of course, we're still working on. Naruto, still working on.
Still going.
Yes, yes, the anime bunny. Yeah, so just keeping busy, and I would be remiss not to say, we just finished shooting our 2nd episode of Star Trek Continues. If you guys don't know about Star Trek Continues, OMG. Oh my gosh, you guys. I am the biggest original Star Trek fan you will ever meet, and And I challenge you to try to stump me with trivia from the original series. I memorized that show when I was little.
I think Billy West might be able to.
Nope, Billy West can't. I promise you. Billy gave up long ago. Billy and I have done some events together, and he thought he knew Star Trek until, like, within 2 questions, he was like, all right, I get it. But we just recently, in the last year, we completely rebuilt. Me and some partners acquired a 9,000 square foot building where we completely rebuilt the soundstage from the original series. I'm talking all of it, to spot-on accuracy. And then I cast the series with a lot of great people. Who's a big enough fan in here who can tell me who played Scotty in the original series?
James Doohan.
James Doohan. You know who plays Scotty from me? Chris Doohan. His son, playing his dad's role. How cool is that? Another a great voice actor friend of mine, Todd Havercorn, plays Mr. Spock. I just had to put him in those years. And you guys Mythbusters fans?
Yeah.
Grant Imahara from Mythbusters plays Sulu. And I'm fulfilling my childhood dream of playing Captain Kirk. So you guys have to check it out. Our first episode is online. It's only been online 5 or 6 months. It has 500,000 views already. It's a great piece of work. The most common review that we hear from people is within 10 minutes, I felt like I forgot I was watching a fan production. I thought I was watching the next episode 80 that never happened. And yes?
Can you give us your best Kirk imitation?
I can't do it. 1 minute, I've got to answer the phone. Hi, honey. Hi, I'm in my Q&A session. Hey, say hi to Michelle. Hi. I'm just started. That's okay. I just wanted to call. I just want to answer and say I love you. All right, I'll talk to you in a little bit. All right, bye.
Eat it slowly.
Have any of the original cast members of
I'm so glad you said that. Our first episode was a sequel to an original series episode. And the actor who played the guest star, the guest star 50 years ago, reprises his role in our episode. It's called Pilgrim of Eternity is the name of the episode, our episode. It's online right now. Check it out. We just finished shooting our second episode 2 weeks ago. And our guest star for the second episode was none other than Mr. Lou Ferrigno. Yeah.
Incredible Hulk.
Exactly. And wait till you see him. He was great. And we're shooting our third episode in March of next year. We've got an amazing group of people together. And the camera, the lighting, the music, the sound, costumes, sets, story, everything is as close to the original series as anyone has ever come. Wow. You know, I want to get to know him as a friend, as a peer, as a fellow actor, signing at the show, not Star Trek fan. You know, I mean, you know, you're only going to be able to get so close to somebody if they just see you a certain way. So especially with somebody as iconic as William Shatner. He's been doing this for, 50 years, 40 years. Convention appearances, millions of, fan interactions. So we had a great time together, and I'm looking forward to sharing more about Star Trek Continues with him as well. But one of the other most common comments that we hear in response to people that have seen our first episode are, I felt like I was 12 years old again watching Star Trek with my dad. Now I'm sorry, but that's about as good as it gets. Because that's what I remember. I remember coming home every day from school and watching that thing. and putting a cassette player by the speaker of the television and recording the show on an audio tape and then putting the cassette recorder under my pillow at night and listening to the episodes as I went to sleep. I mean, I memorized them. You could say, Doomsday Machine, and I could go, where's your crew, Matt? They're on the third planet. There is no third planet. Don't you think I know that? There was, not anymore. I mean, I could just break into the whole dialogue. I mean, God knows, I could have been a surgeon. You know what I mean? I could have been a brilliant man, and my brain is full of useless information. Anyway, so we've got a third episode lined up right now that we're shooting in March that is going to blow people's minds. I'm so excited about it. I don't want to give anything away, but we're very excited about the third episode. The last one we just shot, as I mentioned with Mr. Ferrigno, awesome. Great. Oh my gosh, you guys are going to enjoy it. I'm actually editing it right now. It's going to be premiered at Dallas Comic-Con, February 8th and 9th, on the big screen in the big room, and then after that it'll be live online. So, does anyone have questions? Let's talk about whatever. Yes, you little Attack on Titan girl.
What was it like working with Travis Willingham?
Well, Travis is a dear friend, and you know what, you guys? I need to clarify something in case you don't know. We don't. When you're talking about voice acting, we don't actually work together. We don't record at the same time, even though it seems like we're all kind of talking to each other, interacting. You may never meet somebody that you did an entire show with. You may be surprised to find that there is somebody from Fullmetal that I've never met. To this day, the woman who played Trisha Elric, who played Ed's mother, I've never met her. Isn't that crazy? Now, other people, like Aaron, best buddies, Travis, Caitlin, you know, I mean, but not because we record together, but because we do conventions together. So we get to know each other from doing event appearances. Laura Bailey and Colleen Clinkenbeard and on, you know, the people that were involved. Maxie, who played Al in Brotherhood. But we only get to know each other and become friends from doing events together, not because we record together, which is unfortunate. Because you feel, at least for me, I can't speak for the other actors, but I feel like I have a connection with somebody. When I listen to their voice in my headphones, and I create these moments, dramatic moments with Mustang, or Al, or Winry, I feel like I know them, even if I haven't met them yet. I've told a funny story before about meeting Aaron. I don't know if you've heard it before, but we had started recording the first Fullmetal Alchemist, and I had never met this little 12-year-old boy who was my brother. We were 15 or 20 episodes in. I'd never met him. And I was at a convention appearance in Dallas. He lives in Dallas. Of course, he wasn't going to conventions yet. Fullmetal had not been released yet, and he was 12. So he wasn't going to conventions, right? He wasn't flying around the country doing conventions. But he lives in Dallas. Funimation's in Dallas. So I was at this convention in Dallas, and somebody came up to me and said, you know Aaron is here. And I said, really, Aaron who? And they said, the little boy that plays your brother. And I was like, where is he? And we found him, and his mom was pushing his baby brother, who was only like an infant at the time, in a stroller, with Aaron walking beside her, and they were walking around. And they pointed him out, and I was like, brother! And went running up and like was just hugging this little kid, and I was a perfect stranger to him. Stranger danger! But my point was, I felt like I knew him. I mean, I know this little boy, and I have his voice, and even though I'd never met him. So it's that way, I think, with a lot of actors when you do a show together, even if you've never met. Yes.
It's kind of a two-parter. You've seen all of the Fullmetal, the full series you actually watched?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Was it hard doing the scene with, I forget the little girl's name now.
Nina.
Yes. Does that scene get you as much? That scene gets me every time I watch it. I'm cringe, but.
Let me tell you a story about that scene. A lot of people ask me that. People ask me that all the time. Did you cry when Nina died? When Nina... Sorry, just love doing that. And the answer is no. But let me qualify it. That episode is like what? The fourth episode or fifth episode? We just started. I hadn't yet really invested emotionally into the show. And at that time, I'd probably already done 50 or 60 anime series before Fullmetal. So at the time, I was like, wow, this is hardcore. They just killed this little girl. This is, wow. But when Ed was crying and like on the ground, the rain started, that was what we call acting. I was acting like I was crying. But like 3 episodes later, with Barry the Chopper, when that whole scene where he's chasing Ed around and Ed thought he was going to die, and the final scene where they capture Barry and Ed's sitting on the steps with his brother and he talks about, I really thought he was going to kill me and I didn't have any hope anymore, and then you showed up, and you know, I was doing that scene and I started tearing up and I was like, oh my gosh, no anime series had ever done that to me. So while the Nina thing had not really gotten me yet, just a couple of episodes later, I started really getting into it. And from that point on, whenever some heavy things were happening, I was right there. I was right in the middle of it. It moved me a lot.
So who's your favorite character that you've done? I mean, you don't mind.
No, you know what? I'll be honest with you. For a long time, I was afraid to answer that question because different people like different characters, right? If Andrew comes up to me wearing this cool Fullmetal shirt and says to me, "What's your favorite character?"
Yeah.
I know what he wants me to say, right? Right?
You're not going to offend me, don't worry.
No. But it wouldn't be a matter of offending. It would be a matter of wanting to please the fans. So I know that he would love for me to say that. There was a little boy that came up today, big DBZ fan. He wants Broly to be my favorite character. But that sweet little girl would like Zero to be my favorite character. You might like my favorite character to be Tamaki. So for a long time, I didn't want to answer that because I didn't want anybody to go, right? But then when we finished Brotherhood, when we finished Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, I was like, oh my gosh, I love Ed so much. And I played Ed longer than I played any other character that I've done. So I would have to say that Ed's probably my favorite role. But Tamaki from Oran is a very close second place. Oh my gosh, I love him with a passion. Yes, Envy?
Okay, so who's your favorite homunculus and who's your favorite host club member?
Favorite homunculus? You know what? I'm torn because I really liked Lust. I always liked Lust. She's so hot. And that's so shallow of me. But then she turns and she helps Ed at the end. And I like that. But then also, I liked Envy, to be honest with you, because she was such a he was such a tragic character. You know what I mean? I'm doing this show. We're doing the first series, and I was like, what happened to this character? This character is so vicious and vengeful and angry. Yeah, what's up? Are you kidding? Are we we're not out of time already?
Just one more question over here.
Yeah, we'll get to it. We'll do it. No, give me 1 second.
Yeah, no,
we'll finish
that's
up.
fine.
We'll make her the last
Sorry,
question.
everyone,
Yeah, man, just get started, right?
Yeah.
And then, what were we talking about? Oh, Envy. Yeah, I mean, when I realized what happened to Envy, like, now I get it, why that character. And I always call her she because Wendy Powell voiced Envy. And when I think of Envy, I think of... Yes, sweetie. I'm so sorry. We never have enough time. What's your question, sweetie?
I was hoping somebody could laugh that.
The coffee and I...
Here you go. Here's my coffee.
All right, come up here, sweetie. Come up here real quick.
Here, have my
I want to apologize to all the adults in the room.
Come here, please forgive it.
This is not weird. It's not weird. This is all just in fun. Now, do you know your lines?
Yes.
You do? Okay, we're going to do a scene from Oran High School Host Club. You ready? All right, here we go. Go ahead.
I'm afraid if I drink this, my father will yell at me.
But what if I let you drink it from my mouth? You guys, I absolutely hate that we had 25 minutes. That's never enough time. I'm going to be at my table. I would love for you to come by and say hello. I would love to sign some things for you, get pictures, concert DVD, music CDs. Please come and say hello. Thank you guys. Thanks for coming.